That's me on the left. It's my sister Ruth on the right, and my brother Alan is in the centre. Now, my father had a 16mm Kodak movie camera, and that was one of his great pleasures.
Uncle John Gilham, who was a brother-in-law of mine, happened to borrow a movie camera, a 16mm movie camera, and I borrowed it and to take a film of our children.
Right.
And I was that interested in the movies that I bought one for myself, a Kodak it was, and I took quite a lot of photos on 16mm film. And these photos are very interesting to have them now because they were of my children, Bruce and Ruth and Alan, and Mary, who stayed with us, and we have those photos now.
I can remember him assembling us in the right order, and little bits of choreography we'd have to do.
He was a very meticulous, thorough operator, He did do things quite professionally when I think about it.
It was a second-hand camera, but it was very satisfactory. It was a very simple one to use. There was no extras on it, but it was very satisfactory for what I wanted to film.
I think those days there probably was an expectation of performance, the idea of letting things happen. Cinema verite, I think, was probably happening, but not round where we were. We were expected to behave in some way, I suppose, in front of the camera, because this was for posterity. It wasn't just for, a quick look. It may well have been based on what the Queen did, or, what royal family did. We certainly walked around like a royal family for the camera, and petted the dog. That's my only sort of measure of how we behaved. Before movies, Dad was interested in still photography. It was plate photography then. Terrific quality, though, some of the work he did.
One of the first sessions that was on radio was a photographic program, and they had a competition, and I put in for this competition and I got second prize. The photo was that of a little bird. It had come out of its nest, but it could stand up, and I had my earphones on the table, and the bird appeared to be listening to the earphones, and I called it the bedtime story.
Recording their various expeditions up the Dandenongs, Dad would assemble, of course, the whole group, line them up, but he wanted to be in it, so he'd get the old string, remote control string trick operating. It wasn't as remote as it is now, but it was pretty effective, if he could stop grinning, that is.
He used to go out with in fact, the local minister used to set a camera up and wait for hours till this bird came back to a nest.
Day trips involved the camera. It would always be there, and snow was pretty rare around Melbourne, but when it happened, that would be an obvious thing to get Dad on the move.
At times we went up to my grandfather's little house at Alinda. There were great days then when we'd go to a shop and buy a pie or pasty or something like that.
Dad would focus on some tricky bit of movement, some animal, some bit of behaviour that he found intriguing, and the rest of us were highly embarrassed most of the time, but they were duly recorded. The zoo was a good one.